Welcome back to Adri's Homestead Life. Today we are going to make cabbage and tomato soup, and we're going to make this soup from the ingredients what's out of the garden and what I've got available at home today. So we're going to make this up, and we're also going to make creamy courgette and cabbage stew. So both of these recipes got lots of similar ingredients, but it's going to be totally different dish on the end. So let's get cooking. Today we are making two similar but different dishes. One it's gonna be a soup. It's gonna be a cabbage soup. I'm going to use some smoked bacon, some smoked sweet and spicy sausages, some chilies and peppers and onion, and still got that garlic from the garlic syrup to use up. I'm gonna use some dill, parmesan and tomato sauce. So it's gonna be like a cabbage tomato soup kind of soup. So I'm just gonna make this up. That's why I don't even know how should I call it. But I'm using up the ingredients what I have in my fridge. And I've got some cabbages to use up, some sausages and smoked bacon. So I thought I'm gonna make tomato cabbage soup. The next dish is gonna be, I've grated up some of the courgette what needs using up from the fridge. So again it's gonna be, I'm gonna use up half of this sausage and bacon with the courgette dish, and probably we gonna put a bit of chili as well in it. Again, garlic, onion, and we'll see how it goes. I've got a dish now on my stove. I'm going to put, actually I'm not going to put any lard in. I'm just going to add some of the bacon and the sausages in it. So I'm going to add some of the sausages and some of this bacon. Right, few minutes have gone. Oh, it smells fantastic. The onion and the bacon. Not sure how much, you can't see it really well. Next I'm going to add the garlic, onion, put one jalapeno pepper, some sweet peppers, and a pinch of dill. I'm going to saute this until the onion gets translucent and soft. Next I'm going to add the cabbage. Maybe about 4 cups. I am adding next this leftover juice of the stuffed pepper. So I've got all sorts in there. Some extra flavour and some tomato saucy texture. I'm ready to add the basic tomato sauce with basil. We've canned that last year. And I'm just gonna wait until it comes up to a boil. And we're going to taste test it. Let's see if you need some salt and pepper or anything. But our soup is done. The soup is ready. I just had a taste test. Whew, it's spicy, but it's beautiful. So that soup is now done. Let's do the next job. I'm going to start on with the second meal. So again, what we've got in here, onion, garlic, the spicy and sweet sausages, smoked sausages, bacon, and peppers and chilies. So I'm gonna put all in to this dish. not put in any oil, any lard, because that sausage we're just gonna have enough for what we need. And I'm going to saute this for about 5-10 minutes. Let's taste this together. This cabbage tomato soup. So good. This is delicious. This is amazing. I'm going to add the cabbages next. Give it a good stir, put the lid back on and leave this to cook for a further 15 minutes until the cabbage cooks. That smoked sausage gave a lovely colour and taste to these cabbages. And now I'm ready to, I put some teaspoons of dried dill on these grated courgette, so we're ready to add this to our dish. A lot of water came out, but that's okay. Give it a good mix. And we leave it again for another 15 minutes. Lid back on. Oops, what I'm doing. Not finished yet. I'm adding a pinch of salt and some pepper. And I've got half a liter of milk. I'm going to add 3 cups of arrowroot and give it a good mix. It's cold milk. 1/4 cup, 1/4 cup, sorry, 1/4 cup of arrowroot to thicken it up a bit. And I'm going to pour this over. Start with half of it first. And then the rest. Give it a good stir. And now I'm gonna stay in here. And it starts boiling and thickening up. It's done. Next, I'm going to make an apple cobbler. Before we're gonna start making the cobbler, I've got all the ingredients here ready. I would like to try this courgette and cabbage creamy stew with bacon and sausage. It's nice. It's lacking in flavour. I think just need a bit more salt. It's delicious. I'm gonna put a bit more salt in it and it's gonna be perfect. Right, I think I'm ready to make the apple cobbler. So it's in 2 parts. First the butter, ingredients and mixture, and the saucy bit. So we're going to start with the saucy bit. The ingredients are, asks for 6 medium apples, Granny Smith, Golden Delicious or other good cooking apple. I've got this beautiful cooking apple what we've picked together. I'm going to use those. I'm going to wash them, peel them and slice them into chunks about 1/4 of an inch. And then it asks for a cup of water or apple juice. We are using water today because I haven't got apple juice. I've got it in the freezer, but it was just a quick idea to make the cobbler today. We got 1/3 cup of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. I'm gonna use the arrowroot. 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1/2 teaspoon vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon ground nutmeg, and 1/8 teaspoon of salt. So we're going to do that next. And the batter, it's 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of granulated sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 3/4 of a cup of milk, 3/4, 5 tablespoons of butter melted, ground cinnamon for topping. So let's do this. Right, I'm ready to put the ingredients together for the apple part of the recipe. So we need 1 cup of water or apple juice, 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar, 1/3 cups of brown sugar. We need 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of arrowroot, sorry. We need 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Okay. We need 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Let's add that in there. Ooh, perfect. I usually mess this part up. 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon and 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. Well, let's do it. Asks for 1/8 teaspoon of salt. And that was whole nutmeg, so I'll try to guess to grate about 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. About 1/2 nutmeg. I think that's it. And now we're going to put the apple in this. And we're going to cook this about on a medium high heat about 5 minutes. Good stir. I'm going to cover this and cook this for 5 minutes. Finding it hard to stir it, so I'll just put the lid on for a few minutes, and halfway through we give a good mix and see how it goes. Let's make the batter mixture. So the ingredients are 1 cup of all-purpose flour. So let's just measure everything out. So we need 1 cup of all-purpose flour, and then we need 1 cup of granulated sugar. Let's get that ready. 1 cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 4 teaspoons of salt, 3/4 of a cup of milk, and 5 tablespoons of butter melted. We need to melt this butter, and then we're going to use the cinnamon for topping. Okay. In a large bowl, mix together the flour, sugar, baking powder, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1, 2, flour, sugar, baking powder and salt. Just need a little bit of a salt. And stir in the milk and melted butter just until combined. So now we're going to put the milk in and I'm going to grab the butter. I'm going to give this a good mix until all the ingredients are nicely combined. And then it says, pour the mixture over the apples in a pan, sprinkle lightly with cinnamon and bake for about 35 to 40 minutes or until a toothpick inserted into the topping comes out clean. So that's nicely combined. We're going to use this baking dish. Put the apple in first and the butter mixture over it, and we're going to cook this on medium-high heat for about 40 minutes. It's gonna be delicious. Well, the apple cobbler is ready. Just took it out of the oven after 35 minutes. Help me, guys, to name these recipes I'm making up, because I'm always struggling to give them a name. So I'm gonna put all of this lovely Parmesan cheese on the top. That would just give an extra touch for this dish. So the creamy courgette cabbage stew, it's done. I'm going to serve this with these pepper boats. I'm gonna put them on the top. I'm gonna touch with fingers, that's gonna be mine anyway. So let's say like something like that. And then we're going to serve it with toast. Looking good. Bon appetit. The bread is ready. I am so happy with the result. Where are you going? Wow, that really lovely, nicely opened. Smells delicious. This is the next day and we're going to have a cabbage and tomato soup today for tea. So I'm just going to get it ready. I've got this pasta on hand. So I'm going to use a little bit of this pasta to go with this soup. This soup is so delicious, spicy, but it's so fresh. So that's gonna be our dinner for tonight. Yesterday we had the creamy courgette and cabbage stew. And let me tell you, that was delicious. The Parmesan, on the top when it melted. I've served it with the sourdough bread. It was so good. I'm thinking to make naan bread with this, to have it with it tonight. So yeah. I hope you enjoyed cooking with me today and see you very soon. Bye friends!